This is Scott Oliver again with Dan Downing. Dan's got a lot of development experience in North Carolina and is one of the owners of the land here in Salitrel. Dan, I'm wondering if you can give us a clear idea of exactly how the land is separated in the different fincas and how you see this project being developed.
Well, the land here in Salitrel is primarily agricultural land, primarily coffee farms, but now it's been planted in different vegetables, onions, tomatoes, a variety of crop, because coffee prices are not bringing too much income right now. So a lot of the land in this area is being sold to developers because the price of land brings a higher price than the price of coffee. So my understanding is the parcel that we're on, about 10 hectares, was part of a larger family-owned farm, probably 100 hectares, and it's all been divided up in about 10-hectare parcels to different people in the family, brothers, cousins, parents, aunts, and uncles. So it's primarily been owned by the same family all these years.
And as far as the actual development is concerned, if I understand what Henry told me earlier, obviously you've got to go through lots of different permitting processes and get approvals for different things, but you guys are pretty far ahead in that process, aren't you?
Yes, the process is almost 2 years in existence since we started the permitting process. First, most people are familiar with the SATANA process, which is an environmental improvement permit. And we were aware of that before we got started, and are very sensitive to that culture. We want to protect the environment, don't want to overbuild, slash and burn. We want to keep the natural environment, and are going beyond what our requirements are to maintain a natural environment.
Good. So when do you anticipate getting the final approvals before you're then allowed to actually begin construction?
Well, I believe that we have it now. We've heard that the SATANA permit has been issued, has been approved. We're just waiting for the final signatures, and that's forthcoming any day now. We have a team of engineers, the best in the country, that know how to do this, how to do it right. We've complied. And really the process for SATANA was just since August of 2010. But the preparation for pre-master plan and designs and the supporting document took a little over a year. But we want to make sure we did it right the first time.
Good.
Comply.
Yeah, one of the things that did impress me with my conversations with both Dan and Henry were the different people involved with this project, the different teams, the different companies, whether it's the architects, whether it's auditors and things like that. They've been doing things the right way from the beginning, which is good, which hopefully means there's no headaches in the process coming up in the future. Now, with the project you're building on, I believe you said there's going to be like 10% you're actually going to be building on? Yes,
out of 10 hectares, 22 acres. Mm-hmm. The law, the environmental and the regulatory plan allows about 27% coverage. We are going to just develop on 10% of the property. So out of 22 acres, we're going to be building actually on about 3 acres. So the rest will be all natural. The terrain is rough, but unique, and we're not going to cut the hills to put the buildings. We're going to use whatever is here and utilize the river and the trees and the natural terrain of the property and the natural streams that are here and springs, and keep it natural. Our plan also is to replant coffee here, not necessarily to produce, but just it's a coffee area, and we like to maintain that that landscape.
Well, you've got your own salad behind us here already, so
yes,
having your own
we have
coffee.
The salad, coffee, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Henry was kind enough to explain why he felt this was a great investment. I need to ask you the same question as to why you feel, out of all of Costa Rica, this was the right place for you to invest in Costa Rica land.
Well, it's interesting. I started my homework looking for real estate development projects about 4 or 5 years ago in Costa Rica. And Henry was a friend of mine and a client, and we looked at a lot of beach property, and we saw this property in Salitrel, and he was more interested at first than I. And after looking at all the beach properties and seeing the cranes coming down and the weeds growing up and the development actually stopping, and then seeing the new freeway that the pista that goes from San Jose, Santa Ana to the beach, and you can be there in an hour or less depending on where you're going. I had this idea about marketing to people middle class in the city or in the suburb, Santa Ana, where the fastest growth is in the country, I've heard, and in an hour you can be to the beach. So I thought you have the best of both worlds. You work during the week in the city or the suburb, go to the beach on the weekends or a week or two vacation. And it's convenient to everything. I mean, everything you could think of is 10 minutes from here. As we look at the landscape, it looks like we're out in the country. And it does have that rural feeling, but less than 10 minutes away, we have everything you could possibly need. Hospitals, and the airport is not far away, shopping, all the utilities are here, but living in a semi-rural but developing area.
Perfect. Well, I wish you all the best with your
Thank you very much,
project,
Scott.
Dan. Thank you.